So maybe you are looking for a headphone amplifier, something with character, perhaps with tubes, to warm up the sound, as they say, but seem pretty pricey or they seem very cheap. Maybe we have a solution. Are you ready? Let's go. Okay guys, so today it's all about this little jewel I have discovered, the Tokyo Sound Valve X. And this is something that came out around 2008, 2009, so not really vintage, but clearly it is not in production. You know me. I like to explore what has been done in the past, and things that have a special sound, a special character just grab my attention, and I like to investigate. And when they're worthwhile, because I don't present everything I find and experience on this channel, I would like to share this with you. Because as we were saying, I mean, if you go very up high in the high end, you're going to find amazing headphone amps, tube headphone amps. Absolutely, no problem with that. But if you start going down the budget hole, meaning that you really want to keep it cheap, or at least cheapish, we could say, not those high-end prices, you may stumble in a lot of crapola, which practically has nothing connected with tubes, just a little bit of glowing stuff, but it's not a true tube circuit where there is the amplification, the preamplification part done by tubes. It's always more or less usually a hybrid solution, meaning solid state tube. So I found this cute little chubby guy right here, as you've seen some images before, which has something very appealing. I mean, it's very compact, but not flat. We're used to have these flat things, stuff. This goes a little bit upwards, but that's useful because you can somehow save some space on rack space, because it is compressed in this part, and it goes up ahead, upwards. A lot of people are not going to like that. I love it. It looks like a small little TV or something. It's very strange. It immediately grabbed my eye just roaming around the web when I was looking for something of Japanese, because you know I love Japanese gear with those special transformers. And this seems very, at least it seemed very nice on paper. This is a push-pull design based on two, afterwards we're going to see a little bit inside, 12AU7 tubes, okay? Clearly there are two input transformers and a power transformer. Unfortunately, I don't know. I haven't managed to find exactly the producer. Don't know. But I'm sure they're high quality. And this Tokyo Sound, I've seen on the web, they created a lot of gear. Not a lot. A few elements, a few amplifiers, phono stuff. And I think it's that trend where a shop becomes famous and start creating their own stuff. I'm not sure. Like the Sane, which is actually behind me up there. That's something similar. Very high quality. So I mean, don't get scared, and don't think you're going to have to look for, I don't know, Wavak or some Luxman or some esoteric type of brand. Yes, if you can, do. But a lot of times, even if you start looking for these things, simple things, you're going to have great enjoyment, okay? So let's try to read a little bit of the specs of this baby. So, its output, immediately, I want to talk about its output. The output is pretty good. A whopping 650 milliwatts, meaning more than half a watt, which will serve the vast majority of headphones out there, okay? Considering also the impedance, considering also the sensitivity, clearly, it depends. But that should be enough power to pilot, control a lot of headphones, absolutely. If you want to know a little bit more how to match amplifiers with headphones, I did a dedicated video some time ago. Here is a link. You're going to find all the links in the video description. So, what do we have? Let's try to take a look. Well, we have a power on knob. We have a volume knob. We have a 6.35 millimeter headphone output. But, surprise, surprise, you also have another output behind, very strange, a 3.5 jack output. You have a throughout, a pair of RCA outputs, because you can connect it in between, for example, your preamp in your source, whatever it is. That way, the sound can go through this guy directly, or if you want, you can use it as a headphone amplifier, absolutely. So it depends. I mean, it's useful. Clearly, it creates another connection, another set of cables. So not perfect and not the best. Not between the source and the preamp. I'm sorry, between the preamp and the amp, clearly. And clearly, you also have a dedicated input, if you want, for connecting whatever you want, like your CD player, your DAC, your phono preamp, your preamp, blah, blah, blah. Things like that, okay? And very, very nice, you have an impedance switch. I hope you can see that. Very cool, because you can switch between above 100 or below 100, which gives you a good range. Even though we must admit that, here I have some notes, it goes between 16 and 100 ohms when we're talking about below 100, or from 100 all the way to 600 ohms, okay? So remember, you have to be between 16 and 600, which is a lot, but you may have strange headphones that are very, very low or very, very high, and this is not the best choice at that point. Then we have a great frequency response, 10 hertz all the way up to 60 kilohertz, so no problem. It could be considered like high-res gear. As we said, it needs a pair of 12 AU7, and it's pretty heavy, 3.5 kilos, about 8 pounds, so not bad. I want to show a little bit of what's inside. Okay, I had to unscrew the baby, and here it is. Nothing fancy, but at least you can take a better look at the two tubes, the two input transformers, and the power transformer. Very, very simple dimple. And I forgot to say that this was designed for the Japanese market. And there are not that many. They say around 100. And also you have to keep in mind that this goes with a 100 voltage, okay? So you're going to need a step up according to where you live. Remember? Okay, so before you start jumping on eBay looking for one, I want to advise you that there is an even better model. Because this is the Valve X SE, okay? But there's also the Valve X Premium, also known as PB. In any case, it says Premium, and it's black. Those are already a few distinctions between the two. But the components are better. It has better capacitors by ASC. The volume knob is custom made, very high quality, better than this one. Also, it has, in fact, an extended frequency response. It goes from 10 hertz all the way up to 80 kilohertz. Not that you need that, but it just makes you understand that you have more headroom and everything inside is just better. But the downside, it has only one headphone output. You never know. Maybe you want those two types, and also to connect a normal pair of headphones. Remember that Premium don't have it. Okay, tube rolling. If I understood correctly, it came with stock tubes by JJ, the Czech brand, which are decent. I did a few tests, and I ended up with a pair of General Electric 6189 Triple Mica, which really changed the game, okay? So do try to experiment. Do try to find better 12AU7 tubes for this baby if you really want to make it sing clearly. And fresh ones. Okay, let's just briefly say something about the sound. Well, if I'm presenting this, as I said, it means this is something very good. Oh, I forgot the price. Maybe something you were expecting since the beginning. Sorry about that. Well, it depends, clearly. It's a used item. I mean, when it came out, it was around $650. Now you can find it around $250, $300. I got mine for $300. But I've seen even higher prices, clearly, because there are not that many. Sometimes they go for 500s, 600 once again. So it depends. It depends, okay? But, I mean, for a high-quality tube amp, that's nothing. I think you can agree on that. So the sound. The sound is what you would expect from a good quality tube amplifier for your cans. Nice and rich, very detailed at the same time, nice bass, great highs. I mean, it has it all. I mean, I could not wish for something better. Clearly, if you have nasty headphones, you want more power. I tried the baby with my fantastic Grado 1000, which I will do a review soon. Great stuff. But also my, Focal Clear. These have low impedance with a decent amount of sensitivity. This less, clearly. This much more easy to drive. I also tried with my planar magnetic headphones, my Hi-Fi Man 560, which really need around 1 watt if you want to have the optimum solution. But I was expecting a very thin sound, thin volume. No, I had to crank up a little bit of the volume. That's true in respect to these other guys. But the results, as soon as I did, were fantastic, okay? Even with the planar magnetic. So 6.5 milliwatts, actually 650 milliwatts, is a very good amount of power. Absolutely. Love the sound. Lush, present, detailed enough. Clearly, if you want the best of the best, you're going to have to buy a contemporary made high-end headphone amp, tube amp, which will cost you 10 times something like this, even more probably. Oh, I forgot to mention that comparing this to the, for example, the Sixter, which I haven't presented on the channel, but I usually use as my go-to amp, together also with the Aoun S17 Pro, which has a lot of power, but it's lacking a little bit of that finesse, of that lush. At least I'm looking for that. I love that. I want to be wrapped in nice silky sound, but without compromising the lower end and the details of certain passages. And I must admit that this is the winner, okay? Enough said. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please put your comments and especially your suggestions for other vintage and non-tube headphone amps. We are interested. Thank you again for watching, and remember that music is born analog. Bye. Well, guys, if you're enjoying my videos and you're enjoying my channel, please consider to subscribe by clicking the black and white logo here below. Also, don't forget to click the notification bell so you'll never miss an episode and you will become a true member of the analog community.